Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to another video on the ZacBaldy YouTube channel, where today, I originally thought racing was today and I'd have a video up for you guys tomorrow, but unfortunately racing is tomorrow, so I didn't have a video lined up for you guys. So what does every YouTuber do when they have no video planned? We do a Q&A, even though I had 2 days to film this thing. Now, in all fairness guys, I hope you've all had a really amazing day, and just before I get stuck into this, for me to even do videos like this, and yeah, it's nuts. And I really do appreciate all of you guys for coming out and showing your support. Over the last couple of years that I've been doing full-time YouTube, it has been an absolute blast. There is a couple of little bits of information in this video that you guys are going to pick up with moving forward with the whole channel, and you know what we're going to be doing next. It's going to be pretty sweet. It's probably going to benefit. It's definitely going to benefit me a lot. And I want you to bring you guys along for the journey. So yeah, if you guys wanted to go down, smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and definitely go leave a comment down below. It'd really help out with this whole big next step of stuff we're going to be doing in the very near future. And I really want all you guys to be a part of it. So these questions are in no particular order whatsoever. There's a mixture of like personal questions, where some people probably think it's like borderline too personal to ask. But then there's also some really cool ones just about, you know, where did the Falcon go? And why did you sell the Falcon? And why did you sell it if it was why did you sell it if you built your entire business? And where's the Falcon? A lot of questions like that, which will be answered today in this video right here. So in no particular order, let's jump straight into it. Alrighty guys, so we're starting off with the hard-hitting questions, and this one right here is from Patrick. Now Patrick has asked, what do I do for money and how do I afford these cars and everything else as well? In his exact words, what do you do for crust? So anyway, to begin with, I do YouTube full-time. Now that is actually going to be changing very, very soon. There's some things that me and Sarah have looked over and thought over, and if I wanted to keep doing YouTube full-time, 100% I could keep doing it every single day. For the last 2 years, I've been doing YouTube full-time. I've been working from that YouTube salary, which you guys can pretty much easily see on any internet source whatsoever. That it's not crazy amounts. It's probably just as much as a regular full-time job, and I work crazy hours on this thing. You know, I'm up at 7:30 down here doing stuff, and I don't get to bed until like sometimes 1 or 2 a.m. just, you know, doing editing and stuff like that. Especially when I was like doing videos every day, it was nuts. So not only that, we also do merchandise. I also do social media managing for a couple of other companies as well, which has been really cool. Now, to afford these 2 cars, especially the FD, I will answer this in a question later on in the track. So if you guys want to sort of hear more about my idea and why I'm going to be doing this, yeah, just know it's about these 2 cars. So I absolutely love them to death, and I will sort of talk a little bit more about this later on in the video. But I'm actually going to be going out and getting myself another job. Now, this is not because I'm, you know, struggling with YouTube or anything crazy like that. YouTube has always just been a hobby for me, and just putting out videos has always been just the aim of my game to do this. Me and Sarah in the very near future are wanting to move international, and to do that, we definitely need a lot more funds than we want, and we want to be doing it sooner rather than later, so that way we don't sort of have anything tied up with, you know, kids or like pets or like getting a house in Australia. We really want to test the waters while we're young and go see what we can do with our lives. And so going out and getting this job basically will still leave me enough time for YouTube, so I can make YouTube videos every second day, which is amazing, but it's going to help me put all of my money back into YouTube. So at the moment, basically when I get my income, which is roughly around about $2,000 to $5,000 a month, depending on the month and depending on how advertisers are paying, and just letting you know, through COVID it was screwed up. But yeah, basically I'd take that income, not only that, but also from my social media side of it, and then also from my merchandise side of it, and I would put that into rent. I would put that into, you know, if I'm paying off a part or paying off a car or who knows. I try to buy all my cars outright unless I know it's definitely going to be something that will benefit me in the long run as well. So yeah, I do a couple of things for money. I don't have an exact number because it changes by the thousands every single month, whether that's up or down. YouTube is such a weird system. But yeah, that's basically what I do. I do social media, I do social media management, I do YouTube, and I do merchandise, and that is basically my 3 main sources of income. Now, as I said, moving forward, getting this second job is going to help me cover basic living expenses. So paying off my cars, paying off the rent that we do here, and then also putting the money aside and saving for this international move that we're going to be doing in the very near future. Once again, I could happily survive solely off YouTube if I wanted to sort of stay working and this sort of thing. Not only that, I think that going back and working this little casual job is going to be really, really exciting for me. I'm actually really, really keen. I haven't worked in like something like this for around about like 2 years or so, and I've actually missed it. The job is actually with one of my really good friends, and I'm really stoked to actually be doing it. So yeah, can only go up from here, I guess. Alright, the second question is from Cooper, and he said, was there any other cars that crossed your mind when you were set on an RX-7? Or was I set on an RX-7? Filming this video in my garage, which is I spend a lot of time ever so recently just coming down here and just chilling and just, you know, even just sitting on the ground or sitting. I literally watched TikToks in the seat of this car for like an hour or so the other day. There's no other car that crossed my mind. I'm sorry. And like, this car is an ultimate dream car for me. It's a car that I've looked up ever since I watched the Fast and Furious movie. It is a car that I wanted pretty much ever since I started liking cars. When I was first into cars, I only ever liked Falcons. You know, my parents had an XR6 Turbo, and I was like dead set I'm going to get an XR6 Turbo. In the back of my mind, the entire time whilst I had one, even on my early Ps and stuff like that, was always looking at these cars when they were like 15 grand. And then when I bought the Turbo Falcon, you know, these were that 20 grand. And then, you know, they were always just out of reach for me. And so these have gone up like $30,000 or $40,000 in the last 3 years, ever since I've been looking at cars. So to me, to go to the RX-7, it was like a now or never. I have to own this car one day. Let's get it. See if I like it, and I love it. There's no other car that I would rather own, to be honest. Cooling issues and all. Righto, so Marcus has asked plans for the Civic. So the Civic is actually currently registered. I said I was never going to register this car, but its plans have changed. Yeah, the Civic is still going to be my track weapon. However, I think for a little bit it's going to be like a daily / track sort of thing. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's basically just the thrash car. You know, a D16 I could imagine is probably like 50 bucks from a wreckers. That'd be pretty easy to find parts for. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to turbo it though, considering I kind of want to. I've sort of learned a little bit more about simplicity of cars, and when they're stock, the simpleness of them can be one of their best factors. And so having an ultra slow NA D16 Civic that I can smash around a track and drive to and from the shops, I think is going to be an absolutely amazing idea. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with that car at the moment, apart from a little vac leak. Tom currently has the car registered and he's using it to and from work, from Brisbane to Gold Coast. So that's where the Civic is at the moment. Once he finishes this job, the Civic will be coming up here and it'll be my new daily. So I'm pretty keen to get stuck into that car. It's going to be a lot of fun. Probably just going to rip out most of the interior, just bare bones, and just hope I don't get pulled over with no rear seats. And yeah, it should be a lot of fun. Okay, I'm going to answer this question now because I have screenshotted so many of these questions, and that is, would you ever see yourself owning a Falcon ever again in the future? Now, this has been asked by hundreds of people. Not only just like, you know, will you ever go to Falcon again? Will you ever get back into Barra again? To be honest, I'm going to see how the next few drift events play out. So, as you guys know, I have the R33 that's sitting down there at the moment. It's an RB25 turbo manual. It's a pretty decent car. Now, one thing I came to love about the Falcon was the fact that that Barra engine never, ever let me down. It was always running smoothly, never had any issues whatsoever. And to be honest, Barra swaps I know are going to become a lot more prominent in the scene. I just think they're a brilliant engine. You know, they make awesome torque. With boost, they are just an absolutely incredible engine. So I'm kind of thinking of some, like, this is obviously a little bit in the future, but when I get more into drifting and stuff like that, I really want to start getting into, I want to, you know, do like a full drift car build, like, you know, buy someone's like half-done project, something that's super light, chuck a Barra into it, and do a hood dump, exhaust, from the turbo and like hood screamer, and just like, I don't know, I just want to make this thing sick, but I just want to use a Barra. Barra's where probably this business entirely started, my YouTube started, the Falcon game was where I started, and like even if I got a BA turbo ute and then we just, you know, hood dumped it, you know, who knows, I feel like that's probably going to be the cheapest way to go about it, but I also want it for the lightweightness, and so yeah, I don't know, it'd be kind of I don't know, I definitely want to get back into Barra. I think they're definitely one of the best engines, but it's probably not going to happen for a while. I'm going to play around with some other cars, some other engine combos, and see how we go from there. Future goals with YouTube. This one here is from Logan, and he also asked, where do you see yourself in a few years? So my future goals with YouTube obviously is to keep working really extremely hard at it. I am a very small channel, and I have been for like ever since I started. Stupid me. You know, I don't have unlimited money. I've been running like on the bare basics ever since I got it, and the reason I can afford these cuts is because literally it's my business. Like, I work from home and I buy crazy crap like this. So yeah, it's been really cool. The whole YouTube game has like honestly just, you know, made me come alive, which I'm really happy about, and it's something completely different to what a lot of other people, and I'd never for one day take it for granted. I absolutely love waking up every single day, coming down here, looking at these two things in the garage. But yeah, in a few years, as I said once again, me and Sarah do want to move for ourselves into internationally. I have been in love with New Zealand ever since I went over there, and Sarah's never been over there, but we're going to be going on a trip over there hopefully next year in winter to go suss the whole lot out. She's been researching the crap out of it, I've been researching the crap out of it, and that's also one of the reasons why I'm going out and getting this sort of small casual job, just for a little bit of extra cash, so that way we can save up towards this massive big move, because we want it a lot sooner rather than later. And we just want to make shit happen, you know? We just want to do stuff. So in the future, yes, I do see myself still making YouTube videos you know, until I cannot make YouTube videos anymore. Like, something really bad has to happen for me to not make YouTube videos anymore. But man, I've loved where it's taken me. I love where I am at the moment, and I can't wait to see myself in the future. Basically, my only plans for this channel at the moment is to, yeah, get better at driving, do more grip events. I absolutely love grip events. Try to get into drifting a whole lot more, build another sort of drift-inspired car, and go from there, I guess. What do you miss about the Falcon that can't be done with the RX-7? Now, this is the best question, so massive thank you to Sammy K for asking this one right here. What do I love about the Falcon that I cannot do with my RX-7? The one thing that I really miss about the Falcon is the fact that I could just turn the key, it would start up, and it would just go, okay? It would just drive no matter where you wanted to go. If you wanted to do a spontaneous trip to Melbourne, like I've done before, you turn the key and you know that it's going to work every single time. I will admit, in the last 6 months when we sort of built it up to that 600 horsepower mark, it was getting a little bit scary for me to drive. I didn't enjoy driving it. The turbo that I had on it was a little bit like, I didn't really like the noise of it. So it's one of the reasons why I kind of go, I know that sounds stupid. I sold it because of the annoying turbo. No, in all fairness, I just like, I don't know. I love the Falcon so much, and I can definitely see, I can 100% see why they are loved so much in Australia, and I can see why the Commodores love so much in Australia, because literally they're turnkey, you go anywhere, you can do anything, and it's a beautiful, comfortable car. That is something that I cannot do in the FD. I cannot just turn the key and drive this thing to Melbourne without having to worry about anything. For starters, overheating, it drinks oil, drinks coolant sometimes, I don't know, probably. It's a little bit drony, it's a little bit uncomfortable. The coilovers, it's kind of stiff. It's old, aircon doesn't work. You know, there's just a whole big bunch of things that the Falcon had that this car doesn't. This car will in the future, but even still then, with where I plan on going with this car, it's probably going to be more like a garage queen. It's more just for me and my personal taste. And if you guys like TJ Hunt's RX-7, you guys are going to love this build. It's basically going to be the exact same thing, but yellow, because yellow is way better than white, just saying. Okay, so what gave the idea of selling the Falcon? It was what started your channel. Once again, I knew I was going to get this question a whole lot. So, once again, as I said, the Falcon, there's thousands of them built, okay? And yes, it appeals really great to an Australian audience, but because I'm trying to reach an international sort of standpoint, you know, USA, Japan, and all that sort of stuff, I had the Skyline sitting over there. The Skyline was great for it. But there is a much larger audience that is built up around the FD than there is the Falcon. And I feel like the Falcon was kind of done for me. You know, everything was starting to cost thousands and thousands of dollars. If I was to go out and break it, I would get peer pressure by the internet to put a built engine in it or a built trans. And things were just costing way out of proportion to, you know, what my small little YouTube income can sort of do for me. So, thought it was time to sell the Falcon simply because I feel like it kind of reached its end in its era. One day I would really hope that I can buy that car back. I feel like it would be a lot of fun to buy that car back. But as for now, you know, the car was, when I bought it, a 12.5 grand car. I will let you know, I sold it for around $30,000 and I bought this car for $50,000. Now, once again, as I said, these RX-7s are getting really, really hard to find. Supply and demand for these things are nuts. Even in Japan, these things are selling for like $50,000, and same in the equivalent US dollar. I think they're around $35,000 US dollars at the moment, which is equivalent to, like, you know, for a base model RX-7, usually a Series 6 or older, is probably, you know, around the same price all around the world. So I don't see them being like a COVID tax item. Yes, they've gone up in price like crazy, but I feel like these have always been just out of my reach, and if they're always going to keep going up, it's a better investment for me to take on this RX-7 right here as a project and keep building this into my dream car than have a Falcon that I probably sold for quite a premium. And I know probably in a few years they might start going up because they're not made here anymore. But I know for a fact that this car right here is going to be a better investment for me personally and for my future than what the Falcon can be. Alright, so we've got a question here from Mick, and he said, does Sarah have OnlyFans? No, she does not have OnlyFans. However, go follow her at the Instagram link down below, Sarah Best. Sarah_Best, I think, yeah. And she also has a YouTube channel. She's almost at 1,000 subs, guys, so literally go subscribe to her channel. She's almost at 1,000. I'm stoked for her. She's been working so hard putting out, like, she's trying to get out 3 videos a week, but I'm not quite sure how she's doing, but she's almost got 1,000 subs, so definitely go check her out. She also does bikini try-on hauls, which, to be honest, is better than OnlyFans, so... Jethro is always having some fun in the comment section. So he asked, how scared are you to do a pull in the rotor compared to the Falcon? I love this thing. The weirdest thing is, if I do a pull in the rotary, I feel like I'm going to break it. If I did a pull in the Falcon, I feel like it was going to kill me. So I feel better about doing a pull in the rotary than I feel about doing it in the barra. The barra was, once again, at a point that it was a little bit too quick for my driving skill personally. And a lot of people go like, he was too scared of it, he was too scared of it. Just so you guys know, the turbo kit and all that sort of stuff came from a car that had been wrapped around a pole that one of my best mates crashed right in front of me. I was driving down a road and he was in his 700 horsepower Falcon. We weren't doing anything crazy. I don't know what he did, whether he put his foot down, overtook someone, I'm not quite sure. It was about 200 meters in front of me. I just watched this car go from right to left, jump a medium strip, and then straight into a pole. It was one of the craziest days that I've ever had. And for all you guys that are going out there going, you can't handle a 600 horsepower Falcon, I probably could handle it. However, after seeing that shit, I don't want to have to go through it myself. And so when I had people in the car, you know, when I was driving it on YouTube and stuff like that, there's always that little thing in the back of my head going, you know, just slow the fuck down, otherwise something bad could happen. And sure enough, something bad did happen to one of my mates. So it's never a day that I want to live through again. And yeah, sorry to get all emotional on you guys, but I know there's a day that I'll sort of grow up to handle a little bit crazier cars, but at the moment, I'm happy with my 320 horsepower rotary, and I'm happy with my 270 horsepower Skyline. They do everything that I need them to do, so I'm pretty stoked. There will be a day where I get into some greater cars, but once again, it did scare the living daylights out of me. And I haven't kept that a secret. I've said that in multiple videos, so... But Jethro, massive thank you for asking that question, because I'm glad I could get that out as well. So I appreciate it, mate. So this one's another big one. Where is the white BA Falcon that we grabbed? So if you guys remember, we went down to Newcastle one time and we went out and hung out with a guy called Glenn from Coastal Falcon Parts. He was an absolutely lovely guy, and he actually donated a Falcon towards the channel. So we went down there, we fixed up this horrible beater, it had a blown engine, we swapped the engine over in it, we swapped the entire interior over in basically a week. And this thing was like the coolest sort of little XR6 that I got to build over a week or so. And it would have been awesome for the channel. So pretty much the week after that, COVID hit, and I was originally going to come back up the week after, couldn't come up because of COVID. And then pretty much we just kept getting stuck with, you know, can't cross the border. I didn't have time to come down, and it went on for around about 6 months or so. So during this time, Glenn actually got to know this family that was a little bit sort of, they didn't really have the help they kind of needed. They needed the car, and it went to someone a lot less fortunate. If you guys know, the original plan for that Falcon was to do a giveaway with it, and my original hope was to go to like some young kid that, you know, wanted a Falcon and didn't have enough money for a car or something along those lines, or donate it towards, you know, someone that really needed a car from like the bushfires that I've been through and had experience with. So Glenn, over those 6 months or so, was sitting out the front of his house, and I felt horrible. So I tried to keep in contact with him. Glenn felt really bad for this, but he actually gave the Falcon away to another family in need. And that was the best news that I have ever heard. I didn't need this other car. Okay, I had the Civic at the time, I had the Falcon, I knew I was going to get this, plus I have the Skyline. Another Falcon on top just wasn't, you know, I would have it out the front, and who knows when I'd have time to work on it. So Glenn gave it away to a family less fortunate. So he's basically done all the hard work for me. I'm glad I got to meet the guy. He's an absolutely amazing guy, and I really want to go out and hang out with him again. So yeah, Glenn is awesome. And if any of you guys are like, I know that there's sort of been videos where I've spoken about it and people are going, well, why the hell is he giving away your car? It was never my car in the beginning. I mean, it was my car in the beginning, but you know, my original goal was to give it away. He gave me the car, was sitting at the front of his house, and he gave it away to someone less fortunate. So I'm stoked. You guys should be too. Once again, Glenn is an amazing guy, and if you guys need any Ford parts whatsoever, that guy has it. Coastal Falcon Parts on Facebook. Go check him out. This is going to be a long video. Brody Linwood has asked what my dream car is. Just one. Right, so this one here from Cody is asking, is the RX-7 going to get any body kit mods, or is it going to be stock for now? So I absolutely love the RE Amemiya look of these cars, and surely enough, there is a company in Australia called Angry Panda Factory that does all of these RE style parts in full carbon fiber. It looks absolutely amazing, and you guys all know I try and support Australian businesses anywhere I can, whether it comes to, you know, my shirts, you know, for all the Barra stuff, all that stuff was Australian, and even for most of the parts on my Skyline, I try to support Australian businesses through the entire lot. So if there's a way that I can get, you know, the same quality of part of something that I really wanted, and there's an Australian sort of way of doing it, I'm going to try and support them. So there is a company called Angry Panda Factory in Australia that has all of these amazing carbon fiber options. So like lips, diffusers, front lips, all that sort of stuff. I'm going to try and make like sort of, if you guys know like what TJ Hunt's car looks like, it is an absolutely amazing FD and is what basically led me to getting this car. I really want to keep it stock body. So yes, I really want to try and make this thing into my dream car, which is basically TJ Hunt's car, but yellow. So that's my goal. All right, Brandon has also asked, who's another YouTuber other than Adam you would love to do a collab with? So we actually have a YouTube group chat in Instagram called Sons of Tracy Grimshaw, and it is full of all of the YouTubers that are in Australia. I'll see if I can quickly bring it up right here. So here we go, the Sons of Tracy Grimshaw, and we have all these sort of Australian automotive YouTubers sort of above around about 500 subs or so. So yeah, I really want to go and try and meet every single one of these guys. Most of them are in Perth and then Victoria, and then there's some also in South Australia as well. So I really want to get back down to Melbourne this year, which is another question that's coming up. I really want to go back down to Melbourne this year and try and work something out. I want to go hang out with Clutch Kick. I reckon he's an absolutely rad dude, and his car sounds amazing. So if you guys like my R33 content, definitely go check out his content. Really want to go forward driving again. And one of my, you know, doing this podcast and everything on Mezzarino's channel, I really want to go hang out with the blokes from, I really want to go down and hang out. I really want to go down to Melbourne and hang out with Adam Reed. Adam Reed is a really cool bloke that I've met sort of doing this podcast and stuff like that. And I'm going to fly down for a weekend hopefully soon and go on a forward driving trip with him and Sam. That's going to be really, really cool. Plus that, Mezzarino, have to go catch up with Mez. Rex H, I really want to go catch up with Rex H again. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Plus hang out with more of the Brizzy boys. So I really want to start doing more content with Tom and James and Fink and all of those other guys that are around me. Plus, not only that, I really want to go back over to Perth again, because if you guys know, my good mate Ross Reviews is over there. And then also we have Joy Drive, Broken Sylvia, just all those blokes all over there. It's going to be absolutely amazing. So hopefully I can get around and see all of those guys again. Plus next year, along with going to New Zealand, I want to go back to Japan. So I want to get a little bit more drifting experience behind me. I want to go catch up with my good mate Sam over in Japan. Japan was one of those insane trips that I could probably just go live over there and be happy for the rest of my life. Once again, I cannot thank Sam enough. He's sort of been like a mentor to me going through my whole sort of YouTube thing. If I ever had any questions, he's helped me a lot with my mental health in the past as well, you know, with ideas on what we can do. Sam has been one of those guys that has just really helped me out through this entire process, and I cannot thank him enough. I really want to go catch up with him again. I owe him a lot. Yeah, I owe him a lot. Rightio guys, so this is another big question, and this one here is from Connor, and he asked, what was your biggest struggle getting into the whole YouTube and social community? Obviously, I think there's a quote by Mike Tyson, and he said, I can't remember the exact quote, but he said, the internet has given a lot of people opinions, and I'm going to bring it up real quick. Oh, damn it. Social media made you all way too comfortable with disrespecting people and not getting punched in the face for it. So one of the biggest challenges coming into the whole YouTube and social media scene, I knew, like, one of the craziest things is I just want to do this for the videos. To be honest, if I could get the same sort of way with YouTube and the same algorithm points as I normally would with turning comments and the like ratios and everything off, I 100% would do that. If there was a way I could just chat to the people that are my fans without seeing all the disrespectful comments that I would get on a, you know, on a minutely basis, that would be my ultimate goal, is to do that. I'm like 168 centimeters tall. I am tiny. My arms are tiny. Ever since I was a kid, I just wanted to make videos. And, you know, I wasn't really crazy into cars. I bought a lot of cameras when I was younger. I used to go out to the skate park and do scooter Reddits and stuff like that, you know, for all my friends to watch. And at the end of the day, all I wanted to do is I wanted to make videos. I wanted to show off what I was doing, whether it was scooter riding, whether it was car stuff, whether it was RC racing. You know, I used to do any video whatsoever. And of course, along with that and along with the internet comes hate. Cyberbullying is nuts, and I couldn't even imagine being back in high school and trying to do this sort of stuff, because pretty much ever since I jumped on the internet and started making videos and stuff like that, you start seeing a lot of hate from people that are either uneducated, people that are educated and see an uneducated person trying to do stuff, much like what you guys are to me. You know, I'm not a mechanic. I never grew up around cars. Well, I did grow up around cars, but I never grew up working on cars. I pretty much got my hands on my first tool back when I got my first car, which was back when I was 16 years old. I haven't really done any crazy things. I've never like swapped out my own turbo. I've never put on my own intake plenum. You know, there's obviously better ways of doing things, and I'm just learning through this entire process. And my favorite people on this channel currently, and the ones that comment down below and help me out with as much stuff as they possibly can and share their knowledge with me without being disrespectful about it. I really am trying to like try and work through this whole mental mindset battle that I've kind of developed for myself. But at the end of the day, it's pretty crazy just how quickly your mental state can sort of diminish from people's comments on the internet. It's definitely one of those battles that I certainly had to work through, and I'm still working through to this day. It's been crazy. It's been absolutely nuts. And like, it's been crazy. It's been absolutely nuts. It's really difficult to work through for any YouTuber. And I don't know whether it's just me or I don't know. I wouldn't have a clue. But yeah, apparently a lot of people have sort of taken a very negative approach to a lot of my videos. And there's like the ratio was like 10,000 to 1 of people that are positive and people that are negative. And there's always that little negative comment that always gets you down, you know, 1 step forward, 10 steps back with a negative comment. It's nuts. And I really do appreciate all of you guys that are going out there and being positive on the channel. It's amazing. It's really cool to see, and I'm glad you guys are liking the content. To those like 10 people that have to like dislike my videos a minute after they come out and leave negative comments everywhere, fuck you. You guys might just see a face on a screen, but inside, all of us YouTubers, Adam Elmsey, Cletus, Luke Fink, Bros Reviews, every single one of us is a real person. So, and once again, the internet has given those annoying people a voice, and a voice where we can't see you, but you can see us and the way that it's affecting us. So, on a lighter note, lighter. If you guys all know, my neighbor Riley, around personal training, has got me on this challenge at the moment, and it has been amazing. So this question right here is from JDM Daisuke or however you say it, Brisbane JDM, if you guys know him, sort of like his older account. But he's asked, how much weight have you lost? It's been crazy, and I'm glad that some people have actually noticed this. It's been a lot of hard work from both myself and from Sarah and from Riley next door. I've been doing this 10-week challenge on like an eating calorie deficit, and also on a training program to sort of help my aerobic capacity as well as you know, muscular and stuff like that. And like, I'm not a massive guy. I really don't care much for building muscle, and if I did, then I would probably be at the gym right now, but I'm not. I hate the gym. I hate everything about it. But yeah, my neighbor Riley has got me on this thing through his personal training business, and it has been amazing. So far, I have lost 7 kilo in 3 weeks, which has been insane. If you guys all know, at the start of this sort of year, when I was vlogging, I looked horrible. Like, I didn't do my hair. You know, my eyebrows were crazy. I had sort of hair growth from random places, and that was mainly, a lot of that was just to cover up my my insecurities. I had this horrible little sort of turkey neck thing going. You know, I've never been huge, and like, so any sort of little tiny change in my body, I kind of really sort of look at all the time and feel. So I started feeling really bad about that. So anyway, Riley's been helping me out do this whole big meal plan, everything else as well. And yeah, I'm stoked. I've lost 7 kilo. Was 78, now going almost back down into the 60s, which is where I was beforehand. Plus, not only that, but building muscle at the same time, and also working my aerobic capacity. The other day, I ran 3K, which is the longest distance that I've done since high school, and I'm so stoked. So, I used to be a really good runner back in high school, back in like primary school and then high school, and then after that I completely stopped. I started working, started getting cars, got off my mountain bikes and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm stoked. If you guys want to go follow Riley, I'll leave his link down below as well for rare personal training. But yeah, I'm stoked. I feel better about myself. I've gotten rid of this horrible thing. Like, it's going away, I can sort of see. It is going away. But yeah, I just feel like I'm a lot thinner, and you guys can't really see. I'm not very tall. I have gotten like a little bit thinner, which I am stoked about. Working from home and stressing out, and also having a bad mindset, you start eating a lot, and just, yeah, a lot of things happen. But I'm really happy about my progress so far, and I'm just going to keep working at it. I got 6 to 7 more weeks to go, and it's been amazing. So massive thank you to Riley. Honestly, really boosted my mental mind state. So I'm happy. What's your favorite part about your YouTube journey so far? So the best thing about this whole entire YouTube journey whatsoever has been the people that I've met. If you guys all know, back in late 2019, early 2020, we did a massive big road trip all the way down the coast of Australia in my Falcon. Met up with like hundreds of fans, if not thousands of fans, and whenever I went to a car meet, I'd meet up with brand new people from, you know, a different sort of society and how they all modified their own cars and how their car scene sort of worked. It was amazing. Not only that, meeting up with people like this person that asked the question, James, Nolan, Tom, have now become some of my absolute best friends. You know, just this whole YouTube journey has helped me, you know, buy cars that I could never thought that, like, I never thought that I would own. A Skyline that I never thought that I would own, and honestly don't like the look of, but it's there and I love it. And meet up with some amazing people, go some amazing places, and work from home on my passions, which is making videos and cars. So I'm stoked for that. What is the long-term plan for all your cars? So once again, as I said, the RX-7 is going to be turning into like a yellow TJ Hunt. I really want it to be like that. Still tossing up whether I want to put this thing on airbags or not just yet, because personally I do like the fact that if I'm going to be putting a whole lot of carbon fiber parts that are very expensive on the bottom side of the car, I want to be able to lift it up and do stuff. But another part of me kind of says that I kind of want to track this thing eventually and just have some fun with it. So I don't know, it's kind of like a, I don't know. Yeah, this thing is basically going to be turned into my dream FD. The Skyline down there, I want to throw a kit in it eventually. I definitely would just want to make that thing my drift car, street car sort of weird thing. I do want to make another car in the future. Once again, as I said, with a Barra, make a sick drift car. But that also depends on how these next drift events go and see how I like drifting. And the Civic is just going to be a thrash car. I love the Civic. It's 400 bucks. It's got some issues that I don't plan on fixing. How much money have I spent on the Skyline and the RX-7? So these are videos I actually haven't made. I've only ever made them about the Falcon. The Skyline, I could say I bought the car for $3.5 grand. That was the buy of the century. Really, really stoked about that. So, bought the car for, yeah, between $3.5 grand-ish. And I would say I had to refresh the entire engine. Had to refresh the entire engine with my good mates from Lep Labs. Not only that, brand new transmission, brand new diff. We cleaned up the entire interior, put the seat in, new wheels, suspension. This thing was absolutely clapped out, and I sort of brought it back to life. It's probably cost me around that 20 to 25 grand. The FDRX-7 so far, including getting this thing into my name, stamp duty, it'll be the death of me. I bought it for 50. So if you guys know, 3% of that is 1,500. So I had to pay 1,500 just to get it into my name legally. Not only that, we've also sorted out a few little cooling issues and just little bits here and there. New wheels, new tires, all that sort of stuff. I would say that this car probably owes me around about 55 grand at the moment, just from parts that I bought. The bonnet, the wheels, as I said, tires, sorting out those few little cooling issues, plus making all that ducting and stuff like that. Probably about 55. So I probably put just as much into the Falcon as what I've put into this right now. So, okay, so the next one, is the RX-7 on a loan? This was a very personal question, but I thought one that's going to be very interesting for you guys. So I'm always normally against getting cars on loans, simply because you can really get tied up with those horrible sort of interest rates and stuff like that. So the R33, I bought completely outright. The Falcon, I had a little bit of help from my parents because I was doing uni and stuff like that. So I had help with my parents for the Falcon, paid that. Got the R33, completely got that. So the RX-7 is a different story. So this one here cost me $50,000, well $55 if you count all the stuff that we've just got. And I sold the Falcon for $30. Obviously I didn't have an extra 25 grand lying around, otherwise I probably would have spent it. I'm really horrible like that. So yeah, I sort of make very indecisive decisions. No, not indecisive. I make very quick decisions. And if it's a decision that I think is going to aid me financially, I jump straight at the chance. So the idea originally was to buy an FD that was going to cost about $35,000, which is going to be roughly about how much I had in my bank at the time, from the Falcon to, you know, use the extra 5 grand and buy an FD. There was a couple around. They were in pretty bad nick, not going to lie. But they probably would have been pretty cool for, you know, building up a car on the channel. However, I decided to spend a little bit extra on something that I knew I wanted to do. I knew that building an engine was going to be costly, so I decided I would get a car that's just had a fresh engine done. And then after that, I'm like, you know, might as well get the next version up because it might hold its value a little bit better than the base models like the RZs and the RBs and stuff like that. So I got, you know, the extra model up, and, you know, things just start escalating into this car right here. Even though it's not my personal, like, favorite car and combination and stuff like that, there's still stuff that I can do to it that I'm going to be happier with. But as a whole, I did spend a little bit extra than what I normally would want to on a car. But I know that it's going to pay off in the future because these cars are going so crazy through the roof. I would feel bad about going out and buying a brand new BMW or a brand new Toyota or anything like that that cost me $65,000 and then watch it depreciate whilst I have a loan, whilst I'm paying this thing off. You know, in 5 years' time, I could still be paying off that $65,000 loan on my $25,000 car. You know, it wouldn't really work out for me. So I did get a loan out for the RX-7 to pay out the remainder of what I sold the Falcon for to get the RX-7. Now, normally I would be 100% against this, but as I said, these cars were always a little bit just out of my range. But not only that, the only reason I can fathom, you know, looking at that loan in my bank account is because I know for a fact that this car is not going to depreciate. This car is insured for more than I bought it for. This car also has been going up like crazy in price over the last couple of years. So yes, there is, once again, as I said, $20,000 missing out of my account, and I used an extra $30,000 from the other car that I had as an asset. I then went out and I bought this asset, which I don't see as like dead money or anything else as well. If tomorrow, or if in 3 years, I wanted to get rid of that loan and make it disappear, the car goes. And then even still then, I can make my money back, if not get more money from the car that I bought. Another massive reason why I got the FD was an investment. And I think it's working off, and I think it's working pretty well so far. Channel growth since buying the RX-7. Now, this is gonna be a fun time. The amount of people that have said, I have unsubscribed from your channel because you sold the Falcon. Cool, excellent. This is a YouTube channel, not an airport. You don't have to announce your departure, guys. It's fine. The channel growth has actually been pretty steady ever since I got the RX-7, and I'm really stoked. It's been really, really cool to see just how many people have come from the States, from New Zealand, from Japan, and all these different places now watching the videos, which has been absolutely amazing. And once again, if you guys were die-hard Falcon fans, I am sorry. I did love that car to absolute pieces. And hey, at the end of the day, I'm glad it happened. It'll most likely happen again in the future. But if you guys do love sticking around and watching just some regular car content and stuff like that, nothing too big, nothing too small, then these two cars are here. I'm always going to be around, and I really appreciate all you guys' support. Sorry, I did realize that sounded a little bit rude before when I said it's an airport, like that whole thing. Yeah, I find it just, once again, it ties in with that whole such like a negative mindset from people that have come from the internet. You know, I literally just want to go out and do my own thing. And, you know, a lot of normal people wouldn't really get much hate from selling a car, but sort of because it's been a part of me and a part of this channel and people have wanted to watch, it hit a few nerves on a few people, and they were kind of thinking that I was like selling out and, you know, kind of, you know, like using all that fame and all that money and stuff that I apparently earned to, you know, go behind their backs and just sell it all on them, and then now they have nothing to watch. I am sorry for all the guys that did like the Falcon content, and 100% it will be back. But at the end of the day, this YouTube channel is me, my story, my cars, and I wanted to sell a car so I could get my other car. Once again, 99% of you guys really understood, and I really do appreciate all you guys' support. For the 1% of people that almost sent me death threats for selling a car that I owned, please don't message me again. Actually, sorry, you can't because I blocked you. Alright guys, massive thank you everyone for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'm sorry once again if I kind of sound a little bit negative in some areas, some positive in some areas, or if I offended you, I do apologize for the people that are still watching even after you said you unsubscribed. Yeah, no, I really appreciate all you guys for hanging around, and massive thank you to all the guys that have posted comments. And a massive thank you to all you guys who have posted questions and stuff like that for me to answer. If you guys want me to answer any more questions down in the comments, leave your comment down there, and if I think that it's I haven't answered it in today's video, please let me know. I will go down there and I will try and answer all those questions for you guys. And yeah, massive thank you everyone for watching. I'm sorry it was a long one, but I hope it gives you guys a little bit more of a sort of future perspective on what's going to happen with my life, the channel, and the cars and everything else as well. Really do appreciate it. Thank you so much everyone for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.